this is the LMM Network. I will be starting with the international news. Yesterday we covered the issues regarding the Iran deal. On Monday, March 30th, Israel listed specific requirements for the provisions of the Iran nuclear deal, a list that was indicative of the alteration of the direction of Prime Minister Netanyahu. Netanyahu argues that, until now, the only good deal for Israel would be the halting of all uranium enrichment by Iran. The Obama administration fears that reopening the issues with Iran in the last stages of the talks would rapidly unravel the deal. The administration has shown no inclination to address some of the most contentious issues that have been argued over for the last 2 years, culminating in 8 days of intense negotiation at a hotel in Switzerland. And now, we are going to focus on the travesty that took many lives, the Kenyan massacre. To avenge the Kenyan University massacre on April 6th, Kenya bombed 2 al-Shabaab camps that were said to be the primary instigators of the inhuman attacks. According to sources, Air Force jets blitzed compounds in both Gandawa and Ismail, both in the Gedo region bordering Kenya on Sunday. Cloud cover, according to a source, made it difficult to determine how much damage was caused, and the estimation of death tolls was irrelevant. One of the instigators of the actions exploited this information. We targeted the 2 areas because, according to information we have, those al-Shabaab fellows are coming from there to attack Kenya, the source said. Kenya Armed spokesman Colonel David Abanyu later said the 2 targets were hit and taken out. The 2 camps are destroyed. And now to the national news. Just in today about the drought in California. The drought in California has not only affected the agricultural aspects of California, but has also resulted in the rapid increase in commodity prices. Overall, the western drought affects more than 52 people, the monitor says, and this may ultimately lead to the hundreds in the future. As a result, consumers pay a whopping extra 12.1% for beef and veal, as indicative in March of 2015, the USDA reports. And lastly, for the national news, possible verdict in Boston massacre case. After weeks of dramatic and emotionally wrenching testimony in the Boston massacre bombing trial, jurors deliberated far more than 7 hours Tuesday, but alas, did not reach a verdict. The jurors sent out 2 questions which are scheduled to be addressed when they return to court Wednesday morning. Moreover, 2 brothers have been accused of crimes against humanity, as witnesses have claimed that they were present during the Boston bombings 2 years ago. Federal prosecutors also presented evidence gleaned from searches of the brothers' computers, including militant literature written by top al-Qaeda leaders. And they traced the purchase of the pressure cookers, ammunition, and BBs, which appear to have been made by Tanarian and his brother. And now we'll be back after the break.
早上好 Michaela 请打开到52页。那跟着我说，你吃饭了吗？那鸡巴啥？不是，你吃饭了吗？
Here, try this. Oh, what's this? This is a Rosetta Stone. It'll help you understand languages.
Oh, cool. Now try this.
我饿了。
Rosetta Stone, the key to language success.
Welcome back. In today's weather, we had a high temperature of 63 degrees, and we'll have a low temperature tonight of 46 degrees. There were scattered rainstorms throughout the day, with cloudy the entire time. Our 6-day forecast is on tomorrow we'll have a high of 76, a low of 39, with it being rainy all day. Additionally, there's a tornado watch, so be careful tomorrow. On Friday, there's going to be a high of 63 and a low of 33. It'll be cloudy throughout the day. On Saturday, there's a high of 67 and a low of 45, and it'll be sunny throughout the day. On Sunday, the high will be 71 with a low of 54 and rainy throughout the day. On Monday, the high is 74 with a low of 49 in the evening, and it'll be partly cloudy. Finally, on Tuesday, There will be a high of 71 with a low of 30, and there will be light rainstorms scattered throughout the day. Now, on to our state news.
Thank you, Michaela, for the weather. We begin with state news. On Tuesday, a little after midnight, a private jet crashed in dense fog after flying from Indianapolis to Bloomington. The plane crashed in a field about 2.5 miles from Central Illinois Regional Airport in Bloomington. 7 people were on the plane and were due to come back after Monday night's NCAA's men's final basketball game. According to the director of the airport, the pilot did not make any plans to cancel the flight despite the weather, but at some point the radio connection was lost. Among the 7 victims were Thomas Hillman, Scott Bittner, Terry Strelo, Andy Butler, Woodrow Jones, and 2 Illinois state staffs, Torrey Ward, the associate head coach for the Redbirds men's basketball team, and Aaron Leach, the ISU deputy director of athletics for external operations. It is unfortunate that the victims did not survive, and we hope that you keep the families in your prayers. In other state news, once again, Illinois' political field is filled with scandals. Illinois Republican representative, who has served in the 18th district since 2009, decided to suddenly resign on March 31st of this year. With no notice beforehand, this news became a shock to politicians. Aaron Schacht faced many accusations using taxpayer money for his own personal expenses, like decorating his office to look like the show Downton Abbey. A public watchdog group filed complaint that Aaron used tens of thousands of dollars on personal expenses, such as his own travels and planes. He also made most of his money through real estate investment with political donor, in which adds up to $1.4 million. As a lawmaker, he also posed shirtless for Men's Health magazine to promote fitness and spent $5,000 to buy a podium, just like President Obama's. Many of these accusations are still in investigation, but would you want him to be your state leader? More information will be discussed this week, and we will be right back with your local news.
Honey, Merry Christmas! Honey! Mom! Dad! Grandma! Whoa! Help! I'm falling and I can't get up! Mom! Dad! Help me! Help me! Help! 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 It's okay! It's okay! But it's okay. Honey, you saved me!
It's okay. Call Life Alert. I'm trying to talk to the camera. Call Life Alert. 1-800-353-6604. Call today!
Welcome back, and now on to local news. From Cinderella to Rapunzel to Little Red Riding Hood, Rock Falls High School Fine Arts Department is proud to announce their spring musical, Into the Woods, played by many of the wonderful, talented students at Rock Falls. We caught up with some of these students earlier today. At the rehearsal of Into the Woods, and I caught up with some of these cast members.
I'm the baker.
And could you please explain what Into the Woods is all about?
Into the Woods is a story, it's a medley of all the fairy tales written by Stephen Sondheim, who's the same person who wrote Sweeney Todd, who we did a couple of years ago. It involves Cinderella, the baker and his wife, Jack and the Beanstalk, Rapunzel, and a few others.
The musical will be put on Friday, April 24th to Sunday, April 26th. The Friday and Saturday show starts at 7, and the Sunday show starts at 2 in the afternoon. General admission is $5, unless you're a Rock Falls High School student, which is $3. For many of those who have seen the movie, this musical will now be portrayed on stage live rather than through a screen. For those who have not seen the movie, well, just come and find out what this fairy tale is all about and join in the fun. Now to Michaela with the sports.
Thank you, Lily, for the local news. In college sports, March Madness rounded up on Monday night with the Duke Blue Devils defeating the Wisconsin Badgers. With a final score of 68-63, the Blue Devils grabbed their 5th national title. Unfortunately, Duke's 2 star players, freshmen Tyus Jones and Jahil Okafar, along with other freshmen Justice Winslow, might not put on a Duke jersey again. Most likely they will be seen on the NBA courts next year. This is because of their stellar performance during the game. They led a great comeback after the first half when Wisconsin held the lead. The Blue Devils managed to come back after the first half and win the title, edging Wisconsin out of the history books. As the NCAA finished its basketball season, the NBA began its season. The St. Louis Cardinals had its opening season game at Wrigley Field against the Chicago Cubs. The Cardinals walked away from the field Sunday night with a 3-0 victory over the Cubs. This game sent a message from the Cardinals that they are ready to win. Additionally, it shows the challenge that Cubs will have if they want to win the division. But don't count the Cubs out yet. There is still a long season ahead for both teams to demonstrate their talent. In local sports, both the girls and the boys had track meets last night. The girls were in Fulton, and star performers were Michaela Velasquez in the 3,200-meter race, the 4x200 relay of Dallas Clevenger, Ellie McKee, Sydney Eriks, and Michaela Bush in the high jump. Their next meet is on Friday at the Galesburg Invitational. The boys' varsity track meet was at home last night, and they had a great meet. Star performers were Seth Williams in the 2-mile and mile, Jordan Reynolds in the 110 hurdles, the 4x4 team of David Villa, Chris Torres, Albert Cook, and Seth Williams, Brady Lennox in discus, and David Villa in pole vault. Their next meet is next Tuesday at Oregon. Varsity girls softball was at home last night. They beat Winnebago 4-1 with Natalie Saltos pitching. Jenny Lawson, Morelle Behrens, Michaela Ward, and Natalie Saltos had RBIs for Rock Falls. Their next game is tonight at Freeport High School. Varsity boys basketball was at Byron last night. The Rockets lost to Byron 7-1. They took a huge blow in the first inning by allowing 4 runs and were never able to catch back up. Their next game is tomorrow at home. Now back to Lily and Morgan.
Thank you for joining us this evening. This is LMM News. I'm Morgan, this is Lily, and we're signing out. Have a wonderful evening.